Mercedes-Benz is a luxury brand built on two main pillars, namely exclusivity and individuality. Mercedes-Benz decided to increase their social responsibility. This was conducted by identifying the sustainability trend and thus giving birth to the EQC model.
This project's aim was to investigate whether there is a relationship between perceived risks and consumers' purchase intent towards the Mercedes EQC vehicle. The perceived risks measured were psychosocial, functional, financial, and time risks. The sampling methods that were used are convenience sampling, snowball sampling, and judgment sampling was used. When selecting the characteristics for our sample, we first decided to select participants based on their age. We chose a sample that consisted both out of millennials and Generation X. The main age group of millennials ranges between the age of 22 and 24, while the main age groups of Generation X ranges between 35 and 45. Regarding secondary research, mainly the internet and Mercedes-Benz's websites were used to collect information. A questionnaire with a 5-point Likert scale was used to measure our variables. 65% of the sample was between the ages of 18 and 23. This could be due to a distribution error because the questionnaire was mainly sent out to students. Most students do not have a stable income, which means a large size of the sample isn't financially independent enough to purchase a car, let alone a luxury vehicle. According to the data, 69% of the sample spends minimum 300 Rand on fuel per week. This number doesn't correlate with 78% of the sample that indicated they are environmentally conscious, even though more than half of the sample indicated that they would purchase an electric vehicle in the future. The majority of them confirmed they cannot afford it.
Because it is a study of relationships, the Pearson correlation test was used. Based on our analysis, we found that there was no relationship between perceived financial risk and purchase intent, as our p-value was higher than the significance level. This finding was interesting as intuition and past research indicates that the higher the price, the lower the purchase intent. As such, we concluded that this result may be due to administrative or respondent error. A relationship was found between psychosocial risk and purchase intent as the p-value was smaller than the significance level. This means that consumers are more likely to purchase the EQC if they feel that they are positively contributing to society and have peer approval. Additionally, a relationship between functional risk and purchase intent was found. Based on past research, this is due to consumers perceiving eco-friendly products to be of lower quality and performance than traditional products. Finally, no relationship between time risk and purchase intent was found. Cars generally require longer consumer purchasing time, so the fact that there is no relationship indicates that consumers perceive no difference between traditional and eco-friendly cars.
In conclusion, the recommendations for future researchers would be to aim to conduct probability sampling. This could be performed simply by obtaining a list of potential consumers from Mercedes-Benz if the company allows it. To ensure greater accuracy, it is highly recommended that future researchers should use convenience sampling and then conduct probability sampling afterwards. A completely objective sample should be used where there are no personal relations in order to reduce biases. Researchers should also protest the questionnaire on a select few respondents. Then they need to ensure that both maximum target groups are reached, thus limiting biases. Finally, a reliability test should be conducted to understand the questionnaires' internal consistency. Internal consistency allows the researcher to understand if the questions that were conducted regarding each variable coverage had some common meaning. Based on data analysis and inferential statistics, it was determined that there is no clear relationship between all the perceived risk variables. It is recommended that Mercedes-Benz considers all perceived risks. This is mainly due to the fact that secondary research and other studies have indicated that these variables do influence consumer purchase intent. However, after analyzing the limitations of the research methodology, it was determined that the reliability and internal consistency of the questionnaire was not high enough to be deemed reliable. In conclusion, the study found that currently in South Africa's economic climate, the positioning of the product is detrimental to its success. Mercedes-Benz would thus be recommended to reevaluate the marketing mix, namely price, product, place, and people.